Hi, Tahara Ezrahti here, and I just wanted to do a quick video on the topic of empathy. So, a lot of people know that they're empathic and they identify themselves as feeling deeply, feeling a lot, being able to feel what others are feeling. And people who experience that, it can be a really good thing and it can be a really bad thing at the same time. Most people who are empathetic probably just realize that they feel things deeply. They most of the time don't understand the mechanisms of how that's happening. So I wanted to shed a little bit of light from my 30 years experience as a professional clairvoyant and intuitive development teacher about most commonly the mechanism or mechanisms of how this is happening energetically and things that you can do to turn this empathetic ability into something that helps you and serves you instead of something that can be debilitating. And that's really about learning to manage your energy. So the dictionary says empathy is can also identify it as clairsentience. So clairsentience is an intuitive skill. It actually means clear feeling in Latin, and it's a second chakra ability. So it's when someone is actually pulling in the energy of another person they're around, or just the general vibe of the environment or the room that they're in, and they're pulling it in through their second chakra, which is located at the navel. It's the emotional center. It also has to do with sexuality. And from that place, they run that energy through their body, up and down through their energy channels, and they actually are now running that energy through their body, and they're feeling whatever is going on outside of them. This is a skill. This is something that happens very commonly with people that you're close to. The whole concept of mother's intuition is often a clairsentient skill when you're dealing with babies, young children, people who can't verbalize, or even animals. That is one of the few ways that you actually can get information. So it's a survival tool that we all have. But when people's second chakras are stuck open, or they're open wider than is safe in a certain situation, they lose the ability to choose what energies they want to pull in and which energies they don't want to feel. The issue with clairsentience is as you pull that energy into your body, it now can be misinterpreted as your own feelings. It can create confusion for yourself. It also can create health issues in that you're running someone else's energy or just random energy through your body, and that energy is taking up space where your energy could or maybe even should be. So one of the ways you get a handle on your clairsentience or your empathy is you can actually practice and learn, and these are skills just like anything else. So it does usually take some practice, and oftentimes it's useful to get some training in how to do this. Just like if you were going to learn to play the piano, you could learn on your own, but you would probably have an easier time and be more efficient if you had a teacher, and if, most importantly, you dedicated yourself to paying attention and practicing and developing your skill. So anyway, with clairsentience, you can learn to open and close your second chakra. It's also important to be grounded, because that's what helps you anchor your own energy coming into the planet. If you're not grounded, it's very easy for other energies to get into your space, and it's hard to take command or take control over what you allow in and what you don't allow in. There's also the issue of your auric boundaries, and that you can think of as your spirit coming into your body, and that energy extends beyond your physical skin, usually 2, 3, 4, 5 feet in diameter out from your body. And having a good, strong auric boundary, being grounded, and then knowing what your own life force energy feels like, so you can differentiate that between your energy and others. So in learning to get a handle on your clairsentience so that you can use it when you choose to, but not be obligated to feel everything all the time from whoever you happen to be around or whatever random environment you happen to be in is going to require, in my opinion, grounding, developing good emotional boundaries, and then learning how to manage how open or closed your second chakra is. And really, more importantly, filling your second chakra with your own energy. That's how we stay in touch with our own feelings, what we want, how we feel, who we are. And then as far as figuring out what's going on with other people or figuring out what's going on in the environment, you can start transferring that clairsentient ability of feeling it to clairvoyance, of just seeing it. And the difference in that is it's like watching a movie playing out on a screen where you're not actually one of the actors in the movie, you're observing it. And that doesn't mean that you are totally disconnected or that you don't feel anything, but observing something and learning about what's going on from observation is a lot different than actually walking through the experiences yourself, especially when it's not really about you. It's kind of confusing and can also create physical problems in that you're running energy that's not yours through your body. When you do that a lot, we all do it to varying degrees. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but when you're running so much of other energies that you're depriving yourself, or in a sense starving yourself of your own life force energy that your spirit created in this lifetime to feed and fuel your body, you can end up with health problems and all kinds of other problems. So it's just a little tip on, if you are someone who's super empathetic, check to see in your belly center, right at your belly button there, how that area feels. Most likely you're bringing in energy into that place. Oftentimes this is a habit that was developed in childhood, especially early childhood. If you grew up in a situation where there wasn't a lot of verbal communication and you had to kind of sense or feel out what was going on with other people that you were living with, maybe your parents, then that clairsentient ability or empathetic ability, your second chakra can kind of get stuck open because it's a survival mechanism. You needed to know when you walked in the house from school whether your mom or your dad or your brother or whoever was in a good mood or not. And they weren't necessarily going to tell you that verbally. But if you didn't pick up on it, shit would hit the fan and you would be at risk of something bad happening. So that's how, not all the time, but oftentimes those abilities get overdeveloped. And it's not even overdeveloped. It's more stuck, open, that your second chakra gets stuck on open, and you don't have the, it's taking, and so you're pulling in so much of other people's energy, you're constantly pulling in energy in the environment that you diminish your own ability to know what are your feelings, what are other people's feelings, and in a sense you're kind of starving your body of your own life force fuel and just creating a lot of confusion. So I work a lot with this in my classes, especially the beginning introduction to clairvoyant healing class. If you'd like to learn more, you're always welcome to attend the first class meeting of each 9-week session for free to see if it's a good fit for you. And I also do clairvoyant readings and can help people with this issue and kind of deciphering what's their energy and what isn't, if that's something that you're interested in. Okay, thanks everyone. Take care.